Hi, my name is AJ Gergich, and today I want to talk to you about free keyword research tools that don't suck. Because if you're like me, you hear free and SEO tool, and you're probably thinking it's probably crappy, and it's probably really just freemium and not actually free and trying to push me to purchase at the first possible moment. I get it, right? We've all had that experience. I have plenty of paid keyword research tools, but I still use these tools in my day-to-day to augment my tool set. So that's how I know you're going to find them useful. This is my first YouTube video, so please subscribe down below and leave a comment if there is a tool that you really like that maybe we didn't cover, and I'd love to check it out. I'm always interested in new tools. Also, all of the tools will be linked in the description, as well as place markers where you can jump from tool to tool. If you've already seen one before, you know all about one of them, you can skip to the next one. So hopefully you find it useful. Let's dive into our first tool. All right, I'm excited to show you the first keyword tool. This is from serps.com. And this is a keyword that I actually use in my day-to-day SEO. And the main reason I use this keyword, even though it's a free keyword and not paid keyword tool, it's just fast and easy. So I pin it in my bookmarks, and I tend to use it a lot just because it's quick and easy to use. So let me give you an example of that. Let's say we're researching the keyword SEO, press enter, bam, keywords, very quick, no fuss, right? They have some other features though that I really like. I like that it gives you a cost per click estimate, and I like that it gives you volume. You won't see a lot of free keywords tools doing that. They also do give a estimate of value, but I personally would not put a ton of stock into that. It's just so subjective, but it's cool that it's there. So when you're looking at this, another thing that you can do is, as you're perusing these and selecting the ones you want, you can click add and save them over in a list, and then you can download that as a CSV. Again, you don't have to sign up for anything to do that. It's very cool of them to offer all that for free, and the ability to export the data. So one kind of pro tip, I guess, is to make this a little bit more usable. If you notice when you go down there, there's thousands and thousands of results here. There's 100 pages. You're not going to want to sort through that, right? So I usually come down and click view as a single page. And when you do that, you're going to get a ridiculous amount of keywords depending on what you've searched for. But you can see here, I'm just scrolling. It's keywords like crazy, right? So you're not going to lack for keywords. But in that sense, you may be overwhelmed with them. And so let's use the filter, and that's where this gets very powerful. So if you're looking at SEO and you say, okay, well, yeah, but I only want things that are talking about SEO tools. So you do put in tools, bam, here's all the keywords talking about SEO and tools. And you can see right away, I'm sure, how powerful this is for a free tool. It really doesn't get much better than that. So be sure to give it a try. Okay, so I'm really excited to show you the next tool, and that is Keyword Shitter. Now, as you may know, Keyword Shitter has been a staple for enterprise SEO teams and SEO thought leaders for years and years. Okay, it's possible that was a good example of alternative facts. But Keyword Shitter, despite the, silly name, actually does serve a purpose, and I think you'll find it useful. So it's very simple, very straightforward. Let's give it a go. Let's put in keyword research and click shit keywords. Fun. And that's exactly what it starts doing. You can see it's just going bananas here, pumping out keywords. Now, I've already ran a little tab here of the same thing, so we can speed this up. You can see it's given it just a ton of stuff. And you may say, okay, well, you can use these filters. Like I see in here, it says Moz. So if I don't want that to appear, it'll take it right out live. So you don't have to do this while it's going. And you can use positive, negative filters to kind of get this data a little more usable, because it's frankly like overload of keywords. But here's a simple little trick that I use. I copy this all out, so select it, and then I go to a keyword density tool. Yes, I said that right. Keyword density. I know, not supposed to be using that as an SEO, but hey, it works for this case. Check it out. So we paste this into SEO Book's keyword density tool using the default settings and hit submit. Awesome. And so what I'm mainly paying attention here are 2 and 3 word phrases. So keyword research tool, free keyword research, best keyword research, Google keyword research. And the idea here is this isn't scientific, but it's just a way of taking a big list of 500, 600 keywords and distilling it down and kind of looking at what's the most important phrasing. And I really think that can help you to just quickly see what's important in this section if you're going to optimize something for keyword research tool, what you should go for. Now, someone, I don't think it's the same company, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. They created Keyword Shitter Pro. Now, it has some cool options, right? I've only played around with it a little bit, but it has some awesome options. But to me, it has one fatal flaw, which is why I'm not totally recommending it yet. And that is, you can see I've told it to get me a bunch of stuff on keyword research, and it does, but you can only see like 10 at a time, and I have to hit next, and I'm just not going to do that, right? Now, yes, I could export it, but I like the original Keyword Shitter because I can see what's happening live. I can also use the filters live. So if they were to tweak this, I think it could be really cool. So it may be worth checking out Keyword Shitter Pro. Phrase I thought I would never say, but it could develop into something that could be quite useful. All right, up next, I'm going to show you actually 3 tools, but each of these keyword research tools actually revolves around this Chrome extension or Firefox extension, if you prefer, which is Keywords Everywhere. So if you just go to keywordseverywhere.com, you can click the install button, snag this, and be off to the races. Now, you do need an API key for this, but it's free. You just give them your email, they email it back to you, and you can click on update settings, paste in your API, and you're good to go, your API key. So what does this tool do? It actually is a helper for many other free tools. So you can see right here a list that it's integrating with, and look, Keyword Shitter, we just covered that, right? So what it does is it integrates with these tools and gives you cost per click and search volume. Honestly, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Nick Eubanks is who told me about this keyword tool. And Nick is fantastic to follow on Twitter if you're into keyword research, or if you want to make sure that you're following the hottest guy in SEO. Look at that. Proof. Bam. That's a thing that actually happened. So let's check out how this tool works. So even when you're searching Google, I've just searched here keyword research, right? It spits out for you the volume, the cost per click, and a competition score. And if you notice, there's a little star right here. You can star anything and add it to your favorites. And Keywords Everywhere will keep a running tab of that. So if you click on my favorite keywords, you can see a nice little list here with all of your data, tons of ways to download it, searchable, sortable, everything that you would want, really. And like I said, it's all free. So I mentioned earlier, I'll show you, a 3-in-1. So 2 tools that it integrates with is, the first one is Ubersuggest. Now, this is kind of a mainstay. Every keyword research list, will probably have Ubersuggest on it. I'll be honest and say that I don't typically use it all that much, but I probably will use it more that I have the Keywords Everywhere plugin. So I've done a quick search here. It's filterable. You can download all the results just like a lot of the other tools. And with the plugin installed, I could click and add these to my favorite list. And I'm also getting this data, which is making the tool much better than it is in its original state. You're getting the volume, you're getting the cost per click. So it becomes, a lot more usable. You may also want to check out another old school keyword research tool and that is Suval. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If not, someone can correct me in the comments. It's a very simple tool. You can see here I've just typed in SEO tools. You could type in anything and it kind of on the fly spits out results from anywhere from even YouTube to Google, Amazon, Bing. So it's helpful in that sense. The UI is getting a little long in the tooth, so I find it a little hard to read some of the text against the logos and such as it goes over the top. You can also see here it's integrated with Keywords Everywhere, so you can see the search volume and cost per click as you're going through this. So what I honestly do is when I do use this tool, I just go right up here and download it to Excel. I find it a little easier to sort through the data and just easier to deal with when I snag it in Excel. So check it out. I think you can definitely add it to your list. Up next, I'm going to show you a tool that I do use all the time, and it also integrates with Keywords Everywhere. So the tool that I'm talking about is called Answer the Public. And Answer the Public is really good at doing one specific thing, and that is putting you onto the questions that are being asked in your niche. I put in keyword research and I put in US for the country. There's multiple different options. You can check it out. Let's click Get Questions and check out the results. So the first thing you're going to see is a list of questions, prepositions, and then that kind of alphabetical list that we talked about prior that a lot of tools use. I usually stick to questions and prepositions. That's why I use this tool. You may find different use cases though. So when you're looking at this, if you're like me, this looks visually very cool. But the problem is, unless you can, spin your head around, it's hard to take it in. So the first thing I do is click data. And when I click data, I find, for me at least, the information is easier to process. So what we're looking at here are 29 questions around our keyword that they've returned, and you can see it's integrated again with Keywords Everywhere, which is very nice. You can favorite right here, add them to your list, that kind of thing. But I use this for two main purposes. One is to understand the questions in my niche. So I want to know what kind of pain points people are having. What are they looking for? What kind of features do they want? What kind of questions do they have about my product or niche? And that can help in ideation when you're looking to, create blog posts to answer these, so that you could be there throughout the buying cycle, all the way from, awareness to the decisions phase. People are asking questions, and if you can craft content tailor-made to answer that, bam, you're good to go, right? So you'll be there the whole time. The second reason is to earn featured snippets. If you don't know what featured snippets are, I did a big research project lately with a paid keyword research tool, which is SEMrush, and we analyzed 1.4 million featured snippets. This article on Moz, I'll link all these tools and articles in the comments. We'll walk you through all our findings, how to optimize for them, what questions to use, that kind of stuff, what kind of formats to put them in to earn them. But if you don't even know, yet what that is, let me show you an example. So let's check out something like this. How to do keyword research step by step. How-to keywords are phenomenal at earning featured snippets. So let's click here. How to do. Yep, there we go. How to do keyword research step by step. And someone has this formatted in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing, and it's showing up in Google as a featured snippet. And what's cool about the featured snippet is it sits above all the other organic rankings. So it's jumping up to position 0 for this keyword, and it's free. This isn't a paid listing or anything like that. So that's what I use Answer the Public for. I gather a lot of keyword research and ideation from it and try to use that data to earn featured snippets. One of my favorite tools, and I think it'll be one of yours as well. So the next tool I want to show you is keyword.io. It's very similar to some of the other tools we've done. It's free, it's very useful, but we'll go through it a little quicker since you'll be familiar with some of the way it works. So let's type keyword tools and hit search. Now you can see it's pretty fast, and we've already got 380 keywords, and each one you select will show up over there. You can add all to a list. We have all 380, and if you can sort that as well. If you just said, well, I only want the ones that say SEO as well. So you can snag all of that. Now you do have to sign up to download the file. So if you go to export, you'll see it says sign up to use, and you can download it in various different ways. I will say though, if you just highlight this and Command C, you can copy them all out if you don't want to sign up. That's up to you. But the other thing that makes this a really neat tool is some of the options that you wouldn't normally see, like Alibaba or Fiverr, some really kind of different places that you can search. And hey, more data is good data. So keyword.io is a nice little tool, so give it a try. Okay, so let's take a look at another tool, and that is going to be SEO Book's keyword tool. It's very simple, so I think we can go through it pretty quickly, and I think you will find it very useful. So let's just put in keyword research like we've been doing. Hit enter. And you can see it says it takes 10 to 15 seconds, but it was actually quite snappy there in real time. You're getting a lot of information. You're getting cost per clicks, value, and monthly search volume, even daily search volume. So it's quite nice in that sense. And you're also getting a lot of keywords. So you can see here, just by putting in keyword research, I have a ton of keywords. And if you put in something like just, let's do SEO real quick. So we'll just do SEO, hit submit. You're going to get very large quantity. So here, let's scroll down. You can see I'm scrolling. Just a ton of keywords at your fingertips for free. Now you do have to register. So yeah, that's 1,000 entries, and you can just export it right to the CSV. You do have to sign up, but it's free. You just put in your email, sign up, and you can go about using the tool. It's pretty self-explanatory, so I won't go into great detail on it, but it's a simple tool and a quite effective keyword research tool. Okay, let's take a look at SEO Chat next. Now, SEO Chat's been around a long time. They have a lot of tools. You can see just in their SEO tool list, it's quite extensive. So be sure to check them out. They have a lot of different several different keyword research tools as well. Let's take a look at this Suggest tool, though. I think it's one of their better tools and one that you'll find the most useful. So I've typed in keyword research, and I've selected the various sources here. So YouTube, Amazon, Bing, Google, and hit search. And it's an interesting way this tool actually works. It's a little different than others. So when you first get through here, it's a 3-step process, okay? So I'll show you kind of quickly. If you select a whole bunch, it does take a little bit to process it. So I'll do keyword research tool, keyword research tutorial, just a couple little keywords real quick. And then I will go ahead and move on to part 2. So from these seeds keywords, it's going to give a bulk suggestion of even more keywords. So it's a little bit funny the first time you use it. So I'll walk you right through it. Again, I'm just kind of, for the sake of this, grabbing willy-nilly some of these keywords. And that way I can get to part 3. So once you can select up to 100 keywords for part 2. Actually, you can select more, but it'll only process up to 100 at the end, which is fine, because you'll see right here when I hit run, this is where the information actually gets, in my opinion, a lot more valuable. So it runs through here, and I only selected a few, so I'm getting a small output here. But if you were to run 60, 80, 100 keywords and took your time picking them out, it will give you the cost per click estimate and the search volume and a really nice refined list at the end. It's just a little bit different than some of the other tools and getting used to the workflow with the 3-step process. But it's a very powerful tool and quick and easy and no sign up or anything. So definitely check out SEO Chat and check out their other tools as well. All right, so let's look at our next tool, which is actually another Chrome extension, and it's from SEO Stack. and it's SEO Stack keyword tool. It's a free Chrome extension. If you just Google it, you'll find it, right away. You can install it. I also will have it linked in the comments as well. So once it's installed, you just click on your icon and bring it up. You can see right here, it's a really nice, clean interface. And I've already typed in 2 keywords that I want to check out. And there's several modifiers, pretty much what you would expect. Hey, do you want YouTube, Google, Amazon, things like that. So far, I'll select these 3, and then I'll just click Start. So what you'll notice is it's very similar to Keyword Shitter in the sense that you're getting a ton of keywords right away. So you're, what are we up to now already? 300, you can see right here. So there are close to 400 keywords now, and it's just going bananas. I think it goes up to around 800 is the max for this tool, but it may be even 800 per C keyword, which would be insane. So you're going to get more keywords than you can handle, right? So you're already, let's just stop it here. We're at 451 keywords. And, that's awesome. The only negative is you're not getting much context, like which one is the most searched or, which one is the most valuable PPC keyword. But remember, you could take these over to Google Keyword Planner. They have a little, if you click this button, it'll do that for you. But what I would do is I love that they have this plain text view. So I can come in here, select them all, copy them out, and then you can use your Keywords Everywhere plugin that we installed earlier from Chrome extensions and say bulk upload. And then all you do is paste these in and hit get search volume and cost per click, and you'll be off to the races. So it's a little extra step, but at the same time, you're still right there in your Chrome extensions. You're not really doing anything additional. And who knows, maybe eventually Keywords Everywhere will integrate with SEO. The next tool I want to show you is called Wordsy. Wordsy's been around a long time, and it's a very powerful tool, actually. You do need to create an account, but it's free and quick and easy to create one. And when you log in, you're going to have 2 main options. One is Ultimate Research, and the other is Long Tail Keywords. Ultimate Research is the one I use the most, but if you want a lot of keywords, you can run the long tail. And I will say that Wordsy takes longer than other tools to run, so grab a cup of coffee while it's running. And for the interest of this video, I've already ran some reports, and we can take a peek at them. So another cool feature about Wordsy is you can save and store your past projects. So you can see here when I'm going in for Ultimate Research, I can put in my keywords, select my countries and all that kind of thing, but you can also name your project. And if you're coming back, you can say see past projects here and actually view it. So this is a project I've already run, and I ran it on Keyword Research. You can see I have 129 keywords, and you're getting a lot of really good information. You're getting monthly search volume, you're getting cost per click, and the overall value of that traffic, as well as, which is a very nice feature on a free tool, the PPC comparison. So you can see the competition level is lower for this keyword than for the head term Keyword Research. What's really great about Wordsy, though, are the filters. And I'll show you that on the other side with the long tail report I ran. So here's an example of the long tail report. You can see this one has 878 keywords, and I think I only entered in 1 keyword for this. So if you had entered in 5, 10, 15 keywords, you would get just ridiculous amounts of keywords. So the filters come in very handy. What I like about them is you can stack them. So you can say include, exclude. So I want to include only average monthly search volumes greater than 20 and hit search. And that will take our 800 results all the way down to 43. Now, you'll find that a lot on the long tail, is that a lot of these long tail keywords simply don't get traffic at all. So you can play around with those, but I like that you can stack them as well. So you could say exclude, let's say cost per click less than 20 cents and hit search. So that's going to take us down even further to 32 keywords. You can see it's very powerful. It's a free tool, gives you lots of good information, and the fact that you can stack these and filter these to your heart's content and then export them to a CSV or a text file makes this a very good keyword research tool. So the last tool that I want to show you is called LSI Graph. Now, LSI stands for Latent Semantic Indexing, and that sounds like a mouthful. You can Google that and find out a lot more about that. But for our purposes, what I want you to think about when you hear LSI is to think about synonyms and related concepts, and that will help you the most. So let me show you an example. So let's say we're talking about a keyword like monster. Do you mean the energy drink, or do you mean the Monsters Inc., or do you mean the job site? So let's prove here that we are a real human, and let's generate our list. So you can see here there's different concepts because we weren't very specific. So you can see Monster Energy is showing up, Monster High, I think is show for kids, things like that, right? So we're getting a lot of different things because we were very broad. And again, you know, we have no data showing us what we're into here, or what direction to go into. So let's be specific. Let's look at monster jobs, and again, prove that we're human, and see what we get. So now we're getting better results. You can see when we entered in monster jobs, we're getting things like ZipRecruiter, which is a competitor, or Career Builder. We're also getting things like job search engines and search sites. So if you were optimizing for, you know, how to get a job on through monster.com, you would want to make sure to include some of these, you know, semantically related topics like job search engines and things like that, or even their competitors. You could say, how does this compare to ZipRecruiter or Career Builder? And so when you're optimizing nowadays, you know, you don't want to just focus in on that keyword. This tool is great for, hey, I found these 4 or 5 keywords I want to optimize for and make some content for. This tool makes sure that you're getting the other concepts that you should also be including in a document that's fully covering this topic. So I think you'll find this tool quite helpful. And hopefully overall you found all these tools very interesting. There's a lot of really cool, you know, free options out there for everyone to give a try.